We're going for the #1 title, and we're not going to stop.
We're the best team here. We're going to win this.
We're going to make it to tomorrow. I promise you guys.
The biggest tournament of the year.
He's up there as some of the best in the world. It's going to be interesting.
These guys devote everything to this. It's right here, right now.
They have waited a year for this moment.
So guys, let's get this started.
Use that X ability to jump out. Staying so accurate with that rifle. Lights it up with a headshot.
32 teams from around the world, 6 continents.
One team will leave as world champion. One more game.
Nicely done from him. That's 2 kills in quick succession.
And that is a 6-goal.
Good morning and welcome back to the Call of Duty North American Championships for 2015, presented by Xbox. I'm Gizmo, joined by my friend Chance, and we have a spot at Call of Duty Champs on the line in this one.
Yes, we do. On board, we're going to have Rise versus Below Zero. Probably the most important match of the day, as the winner is going to move on to COD Champs and the loser is going to be completely eliminated. The first map is going to be Hardpoint Solar. Personally, this is one of my favorite Hardpoint maps. It has a little bit of everything. The first hill is really scrappy, but it's also extremely open. And how big this map is, a lot of bows are necessary. You see sometimes teams run up to 3 bows to get all the coverage they possibly can. Your top and bottom hills, those are times that you need to rotate early. Sometimes as soon as 20 seconds to get over, because you can hold down a lot of time, and they're short, scrappy hills where you can see sometimes 4 ASM1s come out. So you get a little bit of everything on this map, and it's going to be great. And right now we're going to be hopping on board with Revan. Gizmo, take it away.
All right, so as you'd expect, and as you kind of just hit on their Chance, this one of the scrappier hills, and you really like seeing an AR player try and get up there and hold down that top glass, but as we say, that godlike goes down, and you're going to see the time kind of go back and forth right now. Assault trying to just find the only little bit of cover that he can and just chip away at this time. Like you brought up, you want to start trying to get that rotation in for the second hill. A little bit easier to get time, but still a little bit scrappy in its nature because of so many entry points to get in and try and break that hill.
Yeah, and the best way to get some good time on this hill is with your AR slaying power, and you see Godlike dominating the kill feed right now. Had a hot start, went on a 4 streak, now sitting at 8 and 3. He's doing all the great work with the bow in these power positions, sitting on top of glass, working on the cuts, and keeping the spawns in check from that Rise Nation squad.
All right, we start to go now to the second hill. You saw Cinder trying to get the scrap time there as he went down in the pool just as this rotation was on. There's Assault with a big 2-piece right there. One piece right there. He is 4 and 2 already though, but look at Godlike. Already 9 and 3, and this is a power position for him. As we go to him, of course, he's taken down. But when you get up there with that bell, you have the height advantage and really tough to get at him.
Right now, we got a great game going so far. A little bit of back and forth between these two squads. And obviously, I think most people would consider Rise to be the favorite. Obviously, they're a well-known pro team. They have some pretty solid players on there, despite the criticism Pac-Man often gets, just the roasting on Twitter. It's always fun. But this Below Zero squad has proven to be an extremely good team. They were actually knocked into the losers bracket by FaZe Red, and FaZe Red is certainly nothing to shake your head about.
No, absolutely. That was a tough game, and playing against them, they've looked like one of the best teams so far this tournament. So nothing to be upset about with that one. And you see Diabogo getting another nice kill as you start this rotation towards the garage. We're going to see Assault be getting the last scraps, but it's time to rotate over and see we already have Miyagi in the hill holding it down, getting this early time for his team.
Yeah, Rise Nation with about a 15-point lead right now. Miyagi's going to get taken out the back from Wolf. Wolf single-handedly breaks that hill by himself, but the Rise Nation players are quick to react and flood the hill from that left side of the map. And it looks like now we're going to have a little contest time as no players are just trying to get control of the map rather than just flood into the hill mercilessly. But Rise still able to maintain control, able to push their lead up to 20 points. 30 seconds left on this hill.
All right, it's really been pretty much traded every single time, and that's sometimes how this hill can get if you don't get set up properly inside of it because you do have several spots that you can flood in. Right now, though, we're starting to see Rise push in a little bit, and now it's really interesting with this set of kills going down. With about 15 seconds left, you have to make a decision. Are you going to rush back, try and get the scrap here, or are you going to start the rotation, which I would probably start doing because the next hill on the complete opposite side of the map. So you're going to see Diabolic try and get this scrap these last 3 seconds, and then that rotation will be on the exact opposite end of the map. You already see one player over there, that's Miyagi.
Yeah, Miyagi just won them that hill as he was able to get the initial gunfight going down, but Pac-Man and him go down, so it looks like Below Zero is going to be able to lock down this early on. If they can hold this time and get really good time on it like we've seen so many teams do on this back hill, they should be able to make a comeback into this match.
Yeah, if you can get set up nicely and have Godlike looking down that glass side, you could really add up some points pretty quickly. Right now, still game in reach, a 21-point lead, nothing that's insurmountable.
Reppin just absolutely curb stomping that Rise player to get the 2-piece to help lock down the hill, doing an extremely good job. And the Rise players are all trapped inside that top spawn right there, and they got completely pinched out by the by Godlike. So Godlike right now going to be sitting on the left, locking this down with the bow. And you got to imagine him sitting at 2011. He's the exact player you want to have with those long-range battles right now.
Right, that's what I was looking for. He made me look smart there. He's holding that bell down, and there's really nothing you can do when you're flooding from glass side, and he's holding it down. And the way he's playing right now, there's another kill. He's just on fire on a 6 streak right now, 22 and 11. Make that a 7 streak. Can he get Pac-Man? No. Pac-Man finally takes him down, but Wolf has already rotated this final hill on the first rotation, and look at that score. We have a tie game.
Oh yeah, with about 45 seconds left on this hill, Below Zero is able to get an early initial control, but Rise is pushing forward pretty hard, and we're having bodies dropping like crazy on this hill. Below Zero looks like they're able to come out with it. They were losing some of the early rotations, but they were able to get these past 2 hills and getting really good time. So now they're only down by 10 in Assault right now, just doing everything with all the weapons, getting a really nice 2-piece there with both the BAL and the ASM-1. Good shots by him.
And right now, you don't need Godlike to be inside of the hill. He already has 1 or 2 players coming in and out, so when you're 24 and 13, if you keep slaying like this, you're going to put your team in a really good chance to win. But as we say that, look at who's in the lead now. Below Zero starting to mount a little bit of a lead.
And Godlike just destroying people there, missing the knife, but still getting the World Star turn on to destroy Pac-Man like that. But 3 go down, for Below Zero. So Rise able to get the final scrap time on this hill. After the first set of rotations, Below Zero is going to have about a 30-point lead. Rise Nation going to have to make sure to lock down those top and bottom hills, both of them, to be able to get all of the time they need to make this win.
We haven't been on board much with Diabolic, so we're going to go on board with him because look at his score, 24 and 14. So he sees what Godlike's doing and knows that he's going to have to slay out as well. Right now, this one's going to be pretty close. Again, this first hill, it gets scrappy, but if you can chip into that lead a little bit, you set yourself up good for the money hills, 3rd and 4th hills, when you're going from garage and then all the way to the other side of the map on parking lot. These first 2 hills, though, if you can chip into that lead, you put yourself in a great spot.
Yeah, and you're right to talk about how great Diabolic is doing, but more importantly, I would say even the 25 kills, he's got 8 caps while doing that. That means he's in the hill milking time and getting kills while he's there. He's doing everything he needs for his team, but we're going to have about a 20-point differential between these 2 teams right now, but they're going to be rotating. On this next hill, you're going to want the top spawns, and it looks like Below Zero has those locked down. You got to imagine they're feeling a little bit comfortable right now with a 30-point lead, and they have the spawns for the next hill. Although Rise has this early initial control of the hill, Below Zero is going to be in a perfect situation to break it as they are pinching from both the back and the top.
Yeah, right now, Miyagi, that's a huge kill to start out this round. It's going to give them a couple more seconds, and they need to start chipping into this. They're only down by 10 right now. This game has been pretty close the entire time, but you like Miyagi right off the rip, having 2 huge kills. Then make that 3 kills. He's now on a 4 streak, finally taken down, but those were 3 huge kills inside the hard point, and that helps their team come back. The score only 7 points at this point. Rise trying to mount that comeback.
You know, Below Zero, I don't know if the streamers or the stream watchers can hear it, but they are getting hype out there. Streppin, after he got a nice little 2-piece, just started screaming like crazy. And it's not even trash talk. He's just trying to get his team motivated because this is an extremely important match for them, and they're going to need to take as many maps as possible, obviously, off of this Rise squad.
All right, so you want to start rotating. When you're doing this, you want to start pushing out towards that garage side and try and get those spawns. You can push them back either to the opposite end of the map over on glass, or sometimes you can push them back towards parking lot. And you're seeing Reppin right now try and go to the middle of the map and control spawns. But Diabolic, the first to get into the hard point, he's already holding it down. Right now, the score 153 into about 130 here for Rise as they continue trying to chip into this. Not down by much, easily to come back at this point.
I'm really liking how equal this match is going down. You you have 2 players on each team doing pretty well in the slaying category, especially Godlike. Godlike going actually absolutely huge right now. And then you also have 2 players, Reppin and Wolf, both have 18 kills. Pac-Man struggling a little bit with 19, and Godlike going insane with that 2-piece right there. But it looks like Rise is going to be able to not make much of a comeback as Below Zero has been able to extend their lead to 30 as they have control of this top hill.
Yeah, just like the first rotation, this one's been kind of chippy. It's been kind of traded back and forth. Godlike holding it down, though. When he's in the hard point and he's doing something like that with the battle, it's going to be extremely difficult to mount any kind of comeback. Right now, starting to get a little bit bigger, about 30-point lead as we're just under 2 minutes left in this rotation.
Yeah, and we're going to see some gunfights going down up top. If Below Zero is able to win these, which they do, they're now going to have 2 players already in the next hard point for the rotation. Going to be absolutely huge for them. They're going to be able to lock this time down for the first 20 seconds before they're even contested at all. And if they can get past that first wave of Rise players, they're going to be in an extremely good situation. And that last hill, they're only going to need to contest. They're not even going to have to hold it down for that much time. They're going to be able to extend their lead by quite a bit here, looking great for Below Zero.
You really need to see Rise here pushing as a team. If you go one by one, Godlike's just going to be picking you off. And I just don't like that setup right now. You need to try and bunch and get into this hill because you need this time in a big way. And Godlike coming up dirt ramp now, and he's coming this glass side. A huge intro kill, but he's finally traded.
Rise right there. You saw Miyagi and his teammate, actually both of them pushed out of the hill to lock down that glass side. And it seems like a weird thing to do, to have all of your team leave the hill, because then you're not picking up any more time. But it was actually a smart play by them to try and lock it down. But while they were doing that, Below Zero's players spawned over by map, so they were able to flood in the other side. And unfortunately, the other 2 teammates from Rise spawned out, so they did not get that support. It's going to be come down to the final hill right now. Rise is down by about 41 seconds, and there's only 45 seconds left in this game. Below Zero is only going to need to contest or get about 5 more seconds, and I believe that is going to be game.
Yeah, this one's mathematically impossible now, and really well played pretty much from the end of that first rotation, and then the second side, really Below Zero, really took it to him. And if there's one player that we need to highlight, it would be the guy about to get a 50 bomb. 48 and 29 right now for Godlike. He's got 23 seconds left to get those final 2 kills, but regardless of what happens, he really held it down. And there's 49. Can he get it? He's on a 2 streak right now, looking for it. 15 seconds left. 6 captures. Really a great game from Godlike. And as a whole, really impressive Below Zero.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to be able to get the 50 bomb right here. He does connect. That is huge for him. That is an extremely good start to start out with a 50 bomb. That is one of the best slaying hardpoint performances we have seen. Congratulations to Below Zero, able to take off that first map from Rise. Rise is going to be looking to take this search and destroy on Riot for your second map.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really well played there by Below Zero. Godlike went huge, but also, not to be outdone, Assault. He went 40 and 31, so they really, really did well in the slaying department, but they also had really good rotations. They were getting to the hills first and then getting those kills in transition, and that really helped set them up for those hard points. And you can see by the time into that last hill, they really only needed to contest it for about 10 seconds, and they had that 1-1.
Yeah, and Miyagi, you see, struggling a little bit there. He was about 27 and 37 in terms of kill-death ratio, although he did have 14 captures. But he's an extremely talented S&D player, so we're going to be looking for him to step it up. We'll be right back with Search and Destroy after this commercial break.